Question. The member from Newmarket Aurora.
Thank you, Speaker. My question is to the Premier. Speaker, the Minister of Finance and the Minister of Health have repeatedly refused to answer questions relating to the financial arrangements between the Ministry of Health and Ornge, the organization under contract with the government to deliver ambulance services. Speaker, according to Tom Lepine, Chief Operating Officer at Ornge, taxpayers have no right to that financial information. Does the Premier agree with the Chief Operating Officer that Ontario taxpayers have no right to the financial information of an organization that receives millions of dollars from the Ministry of Health every year?
Speaker, Ornge, of course, is an ambulance service. They provide critical air ambulance services to Ontarians. In many parts of this province, Speaker, in fact, throughout the province, we rely on Ornge to get people to the care they need as quickly as possible. And through Ornge, we have been able to increase access to emergency medical transportation, especially for Ontarians in northern and remote communities. We fund Ornge through a transfer payment agreement. We have an accountability agreement with Ornge, ensuring that they provide Ontarians with air ambulance services, with base hospitals, with organ recovery, Speaker, and air paramedic training certification. They provide over 20,000 admissions a year, which improves health care for Ontarians.
Supplementary.
Still refusing to answer.
Speaker, $150 million are being transferred to this organization by the Ministry of Health every year, and the taxpayers are told they have no right to know how those funds are being allocated. A creature created by the government that claims it is not a government agency, yet has 116 employees on the government's sunshine list.
Whoa, whoops.
And not a so-called not-for-profit organization that has spawned a number of for-profit entities under its umbrella and refuses to disclose financial information. I'd like to know this from the Premier. How can the Premier ignore the potential for conflict in this organization that receives multi-millions of dollars of government funds while at the same time operating a number of for-profit entities? Can the Premier see the conflict?
Minister.
Speaker, the member opposite would know that Ornge is a non-profit corporation. It receives government funding. As a result, they are required to report to the Sunshine List any employees that make over $100,000 per year. And I understand that they have frozen non-union compensation since 2008. I'm sure the member opposite is interested to know that the Auditor General is, in fact, looking at Ornge right now and doing a value-for-money audit, and I know we certainly all look forward to the results of that audit, Speaker.
To the Premier. Speaker, taxpayers expect us to get answers to the basic questions we've been asking about the financial affairs at Ornge, a not-for-profit charitable organization created by fiat of this government under the direction of a former Minister of Health.
Smitherman.
The Minister's Chief of Staff now has a senior position at Ornge. Multi-millions of public assets were absorbed by that organization without public tender. Overhead, administration, salaries and capital costs are paid by taxpayers. For-profit entities doing business under the same roof. And there is no disclosure of financial relationship of those businesses. Speaker, I ask again, does the Premier not share our concerns over the potential conflicts inherent in this organization, and will he not agree to ensure that that...
Speaker, the Minister of Health.
Speaker, as I said in the earlier...
Stop the clock. Minister of Health.
Speaker, as I said in the earlier question, I am delighted that the Auditor General is in fact looking at Ornge. I want to assure you that Ornge is cooperating fully with the Auditor General. We are looking forward, as we always do, to what the Auditor General in fact recommends to us. And as we have always done, Speaker, we will respond to the recommendations of the Auditor General. We look forward to that, Speaker.
Supplementary.
Speaker, now we know why the A is missing from Ornge. It obviously stands for accountability, and it's nowhere to be found anywhere in that organization. I want to ask the Premier this. Since this issue was raised here in the legislature, I have received numerous emails from employees, from people in administration, from pilots, from paramedics in that organization, giving inside information about what is going on there. Will the Premier agree to personally accept delivery of those emails, and will he agree to personally read the content of those emails so that he can know firsthand what is going on at Ornge?
Minister.
Speaker, of course we would welcome that information, and I'm sure the Auditor would too. So if you've got information you're willing to share, we're sure willing to accept it and pass it on to the Auditor General. Perhaps you might have done that actually yourself.
Stop clock. Member from Renfrew. Minister.
Speaker, you know,
It didn't take the member from Renfrew long. I just called him to order. I sit down. He interjects. Your seatmate right beside you wants to hear the answer. Minister.
Speaker, we are not going to be taking any lessons on accountability and transparency from the party opposite. Speaker, they are the party that hid a $5.5 billion deficit. We passed a law requiring the Auditor General to sign off on the books of the province before the election, Speaker. They are the party that kept OPG and Hydro One off the Sunshine List, Speaker. We are the party that brought them back on. Right. They refused to include OPG, Hydro One, universities, hospitals under free...
Thank you. New